Oh my goodness, you guys. Okay. So first of all, I know you can't see it, and my background is messy because I am in the guest bedroom of my girlfriend's house. Um, but I'm sitting in a crisscross chair, and I'm like the happiest camper. See? Okay. I clearly don't know how to tilt my computer well. But anyway, I'm super excited and happy that I got this crisscross chair. This is like my little office desk setup that I've got going on. So I've got my monitor, my cam, my microphone, my work equipment, my like non-work but like somewhat work equipment, whatever you want to call it, like my personal stuff that I use for like podcasting, vlogging, all that jazz. So, I'm so happy to talk to you guys about this episode today. I do want to say I do apologize because I was supposed to post this episode for 12 a.m. today, and I am literally recording it at 4:45 p.m. So by the time this like uploads and everything, it's gonna be like 20-ish hours after I normally post it. So I know it's not a big deal, but I'm trying to set myself up for success, and I've really been slacking in terms of my vlogging. And now it's starting to affect my podcast. But my goal is to get back on track this weekend and record a couple of podcasts, get those out of the way, set those up as drafts to be published. And then in terms of vlogging, I need to really come up with ideas and get that going as well. It's just been very hard because I decided that I didn't want to be at my place anymore because the roach infestation is so serious. Like, they are hiding everywhere. I see at least 1 to 2 a day. I've had pest control come a couple times, but now I'm gonna try to make it more consistent, like have them come on a weekly basis, even though I'm not there. And I know that me not living in it is gonna make the situation worse, but like I just can't do it anymore. Like, that place creeps me out. And also, like, things just keep breaking. There is the bathroom cabinet that broke, the kitchen cabinet that broke. I fixed the bathroom cabinet, but it's still as wonky as it was right before it fell. So I didn't fix it. I just like basically like it's holding together for dear life. And then the kitchen cabinet is completely off, so I need to put in a work order for that. Um, I'm missing blinds. Those never came to me, and I literally like moved in and I was like, I'm missing blinds and the twisty thingy to twist all the blinds. I don't have it. Like it, not, how do I put this? I have the twisty thingy, the bar, whatever you want to call it, but I'm missing like the insert piece. So I told them that at move-in, so they know that. And they said they would put in a request for me, but they never did. And then 2 of my lights in the kitchen are off. Like they're not, like, no power goes to it. So I guess they're dead. But these are light bulbs that I don't think I can access easily because it's not like this. It's not like a normal light fixture. It's like one of those light fixtures that are like, I don't know, like they tried to be fancy, but maybe they're not. But regardless, my main thing is that I'm just very sick of living there. I'm sick of all of the issues that arise. There was a problem that was fixed with maintenance in terms of like my sink and my bathtub. My bathtub like wouldn't turn off. There was always a constant water flow. And I was like, great, like now I'm gonna see this in my next bill. Like, water's going like crazy, and then the sink was backed up. But those were thankfully fixed, and those are like more serious issues in terms of plumbing than like roaches in Texas and like broken cabinets. Like, you can live with that, but like it's just like one thing after another there, and I'm getting really sick of it. And my girlfriend is over there half the time anyway, and then I come here, and like we're just sick of like the back and forth, especially with Texas traffic. So we were like, okay, let's just like trial move in together, see if we like the idea. Very U-Haul of us, because we've only been dating since November, but I think that this gives us an opportunity because I still have my lease, she still has her lease, and we can see how we can work living together. So it's very messy right now because I just moved. I did a bunch of laundry. That's another thing. I don't have laundry at my place. They have a facility they have to go and pay for, but like I don't have any like laundry in my apartment. So like I have to like go, and like it's annoying. So I would come here on weekends. So like I'm back and forth, she's back and forth, and we're like, fuck this. We can't do this anymore. But I'm really happy about today's episode because it's actually about overcoming burnout and preventing like a next time. And I feel like I'm amidst a burnout, which is why I'm like very appreciative that we can get to talk about something that I'm actually feeling at this moment. I love when those things line up because I'm like, yes, like this is something I can relate to in the moment, something that I'm sure a bunch of you relate to. So let's talk about it. Again, I'm so sorry for the messy background of the room, but I know y'all can see some of it, but not all of it. So if you're watching the video platform of this, anyway. One more thing that I want to bring up is my vlogging. I have been slacking on my vlogs, and I promise I want to get back into that. I want to post on at least a weekly basis. Every other week would be like, okay, if I can't do it weekly, but like a weekly basis is ideal. I want to show you guys my life. I want to get out there. I want to have and create content because it's so fun for me. Like I enjoy it. It's just like I feel like I'm one person and I'm spreading myself amongst all of these things, and I'm sure it's very stressful um to be dating me. But it's stressful to be me as well because I push myself to the absolute limit. So, with us talking about burnout, I think it's a good kind of topic for this week. So, what are some signs or symptoms of burnout? So, some examples are that even the smallest of things feel impossible. Taking a shower, brushing your teeth, making dinner, the smallest tasks, folding your laundry, like they just feel impossible because you've done so much, you're exhausted, you're burnt out. Another thing is that your motivation is gone. You just want to lay in bed. Another thing could be that your creativity is drained and it's hard to kind of tap into your creative side. Another thing is that you see your mental health declining, or you can like feel it slipping. Just noticing a shift in your mental health. Another sign is that you feel like you're running on autopilot and there's no excitement in your life. Another symptom is that you struggle to find joy in things that should be fun, such as social interaction, hanging out with friends, any hobbies or interests that you have that you normally enjoy doing. Another sign could be that your mind is constantly focused on what you need to do, and you have like this constant mental checklist. Another example is that you are consistently feeling sick and tired from no sleep and little to no self-care. And then one of the last signs that I have on here is overuse injuries, weight loss and gain, panic attacks, and your body's starting to break down. So like you start to see it in your body. So like maybe you're doing a lot of typing, you have, carpal tunnel syndrome, your wrists are hurting, your fingers are hurting. If you constantly do certain repetitive motions, you're going to notice soreness or injuries due to that. You're going to notice a change in your weight, whether it be a loss or a gain. For me personally, sitting on a computer for work and not doing much else actively, and all of my things being recording, editing, things that require me to just, not require, but like are mostly me sitting, I see and noticed weight gain, especially because I don't make time to go to the gym. However, I have seen it in the past where I've done weight loss as a symptom because I was working at like a lab at the time, and I was pretty much doing whatever, sitting, occasionally standing and moving around. But there was also a time where I was working a second job that required me to run around, and I was losing weight as a result of that. And I was not eating either because I was going between one job to the other, maybe getting a snack or a McChicken or something, but that was like it. um, Panic attacks. You start to notice a shift in your energy and a shift in your natural state, and you feel a lot more anxious, more stressed out. You get panic attacks, and your body really just starts to break down. And it's scary because it's like you don't realize how much burnout can affect you, but it does. So some ways that burnout has manifested for me is included in the symptoms I listed, and I want to take more emphasis on it just because I want you guys to notice the signs of burnout, because some people don't realize that they're burnt out like to the core. um so for me, like wanting to lay in bed all day, I thought that was just a symptom of like depression, um or not related to burnout. But it makes sense, right? Because you're so exhausted, you're tired, you don't realize that that's also a burnout symptom, that you just want to lay in bed because you need rest, and your body is trying to tell you that either your body, your physical body, and or your mind needs rest. So I feel like that's a huge one that has manifested for me a lot. I always want to lay in bed because I'm like doing XYZ, so many different tasks. And it's like, girl, just chill out for 1 second. Another thing is my creativity. My creativity will go. There has been periods of time where I don't write. I love to write poetry. I don't write poetry. I don't write in my book, or like that flow of creativity is just gone, which is why in recording these podcasts, editing them, doing the vlogs, that is supposed to empower my creativity. And it's not relaxing when I have deadlines to meet that I'm setting for myself, but that's the major thing that I remind myself, is that I'm setting those deadlines for myself. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't get paid for these podcasts. I don't get paid for these vlogs. I'm not at this moment making money as a social media influencer or content creator or whatever title you want to give it. I'm not making my money that way. I am doing this for pure enjoyment, and I'm doing it because I love it. So, with that being said, if I miss a deadline that I set for myself, yes, it can be embarrassing. It can be like, I know better, I can do better. And it can be one of those like soul crushing moments. But I also have to remember that it is completely fine. It is my expectation. It's not like somebody's going to pull their funding, or I'm not making money, or whatever the case. It's literally going to be okay. And it took so much out of me yesterday to be like, you know what? I wanted to record a podcast like yesterday. What day was that? The 12th. I was like, I want to record my podcast episode, have it up for 12 a.m., but I am exhausted and I am choosing myself. I want to sit here and I want to watch Suits with my girlfriend, so that's what I'm going to do. And I did it. And then I went to bed. I don't even remember what time, maybe like 10:30. Um but that's my point, is that I'm setting these expectations. Granted, if it was the way that I made money, I would have a lot more time, right? I wouldn't be working my 9 to 5 um or 40-hour work week. Let's call it that, because I don't work 9 to 5. But I wouldn't have my 40-hour work week. I would be replacing that with all of my content creation, all of the things that I had to do. So I keep that in mind, because I need to cut myself some slack and give myself a break. So, with that being said, I'm so glad that I put myself first, because that is one way to prevent burnout from happening. And that's why I say I feel like I'm amidst burnout, because I'm actively watching myself and making sure that I'm taking care of myself regardless of what I have to do. I have a whole list of things that I want to do, believe me, but prioritizing yourself is going to be the number one way of preventing burnout. And the best way to do that is to figure out what is important to you and what is important to get done. So, for example, I was in so much pain last week. I actually went to the ER. But I debated there for a solid like 10-15 minutes if I was going to go into work or not. And I ended up calling out. I took an attendance hit, but I'm so glad that I did that, because I went to the ER, I checked myself, I made sure I was good. I figured out what I needed, what was going on, all of that jazz. And that is what I did. I prioritized myself in that moment, and I don't regret it. So, not everyone has the luxury of calling out. Not everyone has the luxury of that. Like, I'm not going to get paid for that because I don't have PTO. Um, Not everyone has the luxury of that. I barely have the luxury of that. I know that me taking that attendance hit is also going to affect my paycheck. But I can recognize that I will still be okay at the end of the day. So that is what I'm trying to tell myself. My birthday just came. I literally just like got money from family and friends and whatever. Like, I know that that money is going to be put away as I need, as I see fit. Um, it's just very, very important to me that I prioritize myself, and that is what your number one thing is going to be. I love how this has become like a me-centered episode because, like, I want to help you guys with tips, but I'm like sitting here talking about how it manifests with me and what I do. But it also could be helpful, right? Like, sometimes you guys don't realize, or anyone doesn't realize what's affecting them or how it affects them until they hear it from somebody else. So I hope this helps you guys too. But let me transition into preventing burnout, because I think we are good with identifying burnout, right? I feel like you kind of know when you're exhausted, when you feel like you've reached your limit. Many It manifests in many ways, but overall, you've got that tiredness, you don't have motivation, you're not really creative, you're on autopilot. That's also a big one. Um, Feeling like you're just doing your day-to-day tasks and trying to get them done and trying to get through life, like, you're not living. And that is one thing that I promised myself that I didn't want to do with this job, but I still feel myself slipping into that. And that's okay, because we have to adjust as we go into new schedules, new jobs, new life. You have to figure out what's important to you, what's important to get done, right? So I'm taking this time to really prioritize that. And one of my personal things is I really want friends. I really, really want a social life. But I have to really think about it in terms of is it something that I need right now? Is it something that is a requirement? Is it something that I should prioritize? Because even though I do want a social life, do I want other things more? I want to read. I want to be able to read my books. I want to be able to record my podcast. I want to be able to edit my vlogs. I want to be able to do my schoolwork and get my schoolwork done so that I can have the job that I want at the end of the day. So, with that being said, although I want to make friends, it's not a priority on my priority list. And if it doesn't happen, that's okay. I am willing to sacrifice that as a want in order to get other things. And that's kind of what prioritizing is all about. But I know I said I would shift into preventing burnout. So let's go ahead and do that because I want to keep this a kind of a shorter episode just to make it easier for you guys to digest. And, we'll get into next week's episode next week, which might be a little bit more, but we'll see, because my next episode is going to be about this book, 101 Essays That Will Change the Way You Think. And I'm really excited for that episode. But for now, I don't want to get too much into it. But I'm going to talk about some of the essays and stuff like that. So it might be long, it might not be. I haven't written the episode yet. Can you guys tell? I'm freaking out because I'm gonna have to get this book done this weekend and record. I don't know what I'm thinking. But like I said, I'm putting the pressure on myself, and that's crazy to me. Crazy, because why am I putting so much pressure on myself to get stuff done when I don't have to? I might need to check myself into a mental institution. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I'm fine. It's just a way I like to keep myself busy. But if I ever want to prevent burnout, I'm going to do these things. Not feeling the pressure to constantly do things and waste your life or day. So, let's break that down. I just told y'all how much I'm pressuring myself to do things. Don't feel that pressure, because that pressure will cause you to stress, to worry, to want to get shit done. Maybe you do, maybe you don't, but you are putting so much pressure on yourself that you don't need. And not to mention wasting your day and wasting your life. So that can go one of two ways. Either you're not doing the right things because it's comfortable, you're going out, you're spending time with friends, you're having fun, yes, but are you avoiding the things that you need to do? Are you? Because, if you are, that's fine. We all need a social life, but procrastinating is also going to affect you being burnt out, because now you have less time to do something that you need to do, which is why I said you need to prioritize, figure out what you need to get done and what is important for you to get done, what's important to you and your soul, and what is on your mental checklist, what can wait. And also wasting your day, such as laying around all day. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Rest is a good thing. However, be mindful of how you break it up, right? For me personally, on my work days, I have my work days, I have my schedule. If I can do one additional task on each of my workday, whether it be 20 minutes of reading, some homework, recording a podcast, vlogging, whatever. If I can break it up and then spend the rest of my night chilling, relaxing, eating, doing the things that I find pleasure in, by all means. And also, I have the weekend. Now, for me, I like rest on my weekends. However, My rest is also accompanied with other things. For example, sometimes I simply just watch TV and Netflix all weekend or for one full day of my weekend. Sometimes I record a podcast, I clean, I do laundry. It all depends on how I'm feeling. And the best way to prevent burnout is to listen to yourself and listen to your body. If you have a checklist of things to do, figure out when it's best for you to do them. Figure out also if it's within a timeline, can you do that task within the timeline? For me, I do once a week episodes, so I try to record them on the weekends. However, if I don't get it done on the weekend, I still have Monday and Tuesday. And today I recorded on a Wednesday when it should be up, but that's okay because it's my timeline. I know that I am not big enough at this time to have people like waiting and badgering me on like, hey, why is your episode up? Because I'm new, I'm growing, I am actively working on building my brand, building myself, building the Many Mistakes Ago podcast. So, yes, consistency is important, but it's also okay to break so long as you're doing it for the right reasons. And here's where I get into the next one: take a break from unnecessary tasks, right? So, these are going to be just some suggestions, but maybe order out instead of cooking if you have the means to do so. Maybe you don't have the means to order out, but you've got one of those like soups that you can just throw in the microwave or some chicken nuggets. Yes, you're not being as healthy by eating certain foods, but you are still taking a break from something. You don't have to have a home cooked meal every single meal. I promise you it's okay. You're not going to die. Now, yes, it's important for those who want to be healthy, but you have to give and take on what you find important, which is why I'm like reiterating that over and over again. What's important to you? What's important to your soul? What can you reasonably do and reasonably not do? And also reschedule things that you don't need to do. Like, for example, me posting on social media, me vlogging, those are not dire, I need to get those done things. Yes, I have my own set timeline, but it's okay because it's my set timeline. So let's take work and school, for example. You're working and you have a project deadline. Get that done. Take your breaks in between, order out your food or make something simple, but reward yourself once that project's done. Maybe you make yourself a good meal. Maybe you take a bath. Maybe just any way that you can reward yourself because you got that project done before it was due. That's an amazing feeling. I know I felt that way all the time with my homework. When I procrastinated, it was like my number one thing. We are literally programmed to procrastinate because it's comfortable to us, because we seek comfort in doing the easy way out. Like BFFR, guys. But I know it felt so good when I had my study hall, and instead of chilling or sleeping or napping or whatever most people did, I was sitting there doing my homework, getting it done, and then when I got home from school, I could do whatever I wanted. Like, I know y'all really have priorities. So, just taking a break from unnecessary things, prioritizing when you want to do certain tasks is going to be your lifesaver. Now, this kind of goes back to the ER day that I had, but not really. But a way to prevent burnout is to just take a day. do nothing. Take a mental health day. Now, that day I did go to the ER and I actually did do other things, but I could have so easily did nothing. I could have just laid in bed, I could have slept, whatever I wanted to do, I could have just done nothing. And that is how sometimes I am on the weekends. I take a full day to myself and I relax because I deserve that. I work 40 hours a week. I do a podcast. I try to vlog. I am trying to get my business back up and running after moving and tearing down my entire website and wanting to put new pictures up and constantly having all of these projects to focus on. I need just one mental health day. And I promise you, it feels so good. This past weekend, this was after the ER trip. This past weekend, my girlfriend took off from work and she ran around town with me and had fun with me. And we just did stuff for my birthday because that's all I wanted was like her time and her attention. We went to breakfast, but then she got me a massage, and I also had like a little sauna session. So a sauna, massage, and that was great. That was so relaxing and soothing that I was able to kind of like go and do stuff for the rest of the day because like I just had those 90 minutes to myself. Um, so it was nice, and you can do that taking a bath with either like some food or a glass of wine, or if you're not a wine drinker, just some water to hydrate. You can book yourself, a spa day or whatever, but you can like do stuff at home too. You don't have to spend money to relax. You can do like a face, kind of like spa day and like do like a mud mask and some skincare, some hair care. You can mix in those self-care moments during the day as well. You can do whatever it is you want to do whenever you want to do it. The reality is we all have schedules to work around, yes, but that's the best part is most of us know our schedule and where we can fit in time for ourselves. But my strongest suggestion is to mix in self-care moments during the day. So for today, for example, I was able to read a couple pages. It wasn't much, it's all I had time for, but I was able to read a couple pages of the book. And although it's something that is productive for me because I'm going to talk about it in an episode, it's also relaxing because I like to read. Another thing is I sit down for my job, right? So I felt so good when I had like my 15-minute, 30-minute, whatever, and I stood up and I walked around a little. It feels really good. So just kind of switching it up, taking in moments for self-care. Like I'm probably going to do a face mask either tonight or tomorrow night with my girlfriend because we have been telling ourselves that we're going to do it for like the past 3 months now, but we're going to do it. But it's like mixing in those moments and also scheduling those moments, right? If you know that you have weekends off, take half of your day on Saturday to do nothing. I promise you it feels really good. Whether you take the morning and enjoy the morning or you're productive all morning and then you take the afternoon or evening, whatever way you want to schedule it, take some time for it. Make sure you are giving yourself those mental health moments if you cannot get yourself a mental health day. Because it doesn't always happen. We're busy people, and I get that. But there is always a way to mix in self-care. There's always a way to mix in mental health moments. Not just days, but moments. I wanted to bring that part up because honestly, y'all, I feel like a lot of people talk about taking mental health days and don't realize how hard it is to do that. So if I can take 15 minutes to do a face mask and just lay down and listen to some good music, or take 10 minutes and use my eye massaging mask, take 5 minutes and read a chapter of a book. Okay, not a chapter, like a couple pages. Depending on what book, just take some time, read it, or maybe I want to watch a 30-minute show. You have the ability to mix that in with your day, I promise you. We do not all work so long. And if you do, you work long hours but have like shorter times. Like my girlfriend works 3 days a week, but she's working 12, 13-hour shifts, right? That's okay too. You have your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Whereas for me, I can break it up more because I've worked 5 days a week. So I get 2 days off. So like I'm going to schedule my self-care, one thing on Monday, one thing on Tuesday, one thing on Thursday, one thing on Wednesday, whatever. You know your schedule well enough to know where you can fit in your time for yourself. Make sure that whatever you are doing to self-care, that you're treating yourself. Make sure it feels relaxing. Are you doing like a face mask? Are you washing your face and doing skincare? Are you eating ice cream? Are you watching a movie? Are you napping? Are you reading? Whatever makes you decompress and de-stress, that always feels amazing. There's also something I want to talk about that feels really good but requires you to be productive. I have come to love Sunday resets. As I started getting into like the vlogging aspect and like learning what other people do for vlogs, I've been seeing Sunday resets a lot, and that's something I'm going to incorporate. But basically, you clean your space, you kind of reset yourself for the week, you do whatever it is you need to do to set yourself up. And like cleaning my apartment, cleaning my area, lighting a candle, like it makes you feel so much better, and it makes you feel like you've got this. Because cleaning as a whole, yes, is a lot, but like let's say you break it down. I'm going to clean the bathroom, then I'm going to clean the bedroom, then I'm going to clean the kitchen. Like you can just take it as it comes, or you can like do it as a whole and then like break it up. But like cleaning is like, you can do small tasks that really just like set your mood and like sets the tone. Like nothing feels better than like when you just finished cleaning and you're like, I feel so good because like this task is accomplished. You check something off of your to-do list. Your space is clean. And one thing my mom used to tell me is she always knew the state of my mind based on my bedroom. So if my bedroom was a mess, my mind was a mess. My bedroom was clean, I was feeling good. And it's like, it didn't register for me how our space is a reflection of our minds, or can be. But like in this case, like back here with all of these clothes, like I'm a mess right now. Like I'm not gonna hide. I'm not gonna pretend I have this perfect life, perfect everything. Like I'm a mess. I'm transitioning from one apartment to another. I have literal suitcases. I have 4 suitcases over here, and like multiple bags of like all my stuff. And it's overwhelming, but I'm going to take it one step at a time, and I'm going to feel a lot better doing it that way. But honestly, guys, I'm going to be so for real with y'all. That is all I have for today's episode. So if we're going to do a little recap just to go over, when you are feeling burnt out, and some of the signs and symptoms will manifest in not able to do small tasks, being tired, having no creativity, it just vanished. Any way that you personally feel burnout, reel it back in. Give yourself a mental health day or mental health moments. Find your reset. And that's why I like Sunday resets, because I feel like it gets me ready for the week, decompresses me from the weekend. You take those moments, you start to incorporate them in your daily schedule so that you can learn how to prevent it. Because I'm fully convinced that burnout happens when we're constantly on the go. But if we're able to break up those go, go, go moments, it'll be a lot smoother sailing from here on out. So again, prevent burnout by breaking up your day as best as you can. You know your schedule and you know what you need to get done. So prioritize, figure out what it is you need to get done, figure out what your schedule is going to look like, and tie in any self-care moments or mental health moments that you can for that day. Whether it be taking a nap, taking a breather, sometimes just go lay down for 5 minutes, set a timer, 15 minutes, set a timer. However long you have, choose whatever is going to make you happy in that moment. Listen to your body, because that will be your dead giveaway. And make sure you choose the things that give you clarity and peace and make you feel so good. Because I promise you, the only way to get over burnout and prevent it is if you don't let it build up in the first place. So schedule in those moments for yourself, because you deserve it. Rest is just as productive as actual tasks. And I say that because rest, I struggled with this concept for a long time. And I had a therapist tell me that rest is productive. Not only that, but it is an investment in yourself. Because in order for you to be productive, you need to rest. You need to be in the physical and mental space to be able to complete those tasks, and rest allows you to do that. So if that doesn't convince you, I don't know what will. But that is my sign off. Good riddance. No, I'm just kidding. Love you guys. Thank you so much for listening to my episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you figure out what works best for you. I hope you implement it this week, if not next week. I hope you guys have a lovely, lovely weekend, and I will have an episode for you guys at 12 a.m. Central Standard Time. Or is it Central Daylight Time? Central Time. I will have an episode for you guys up next Wednesday, 12 a.m. Central Time. Love you guys so much. Kisses. Yeah, have a great week.